Good morning, guys, and welcome back to New Nassau Food Forest. I'm Ross, and today I'm going to be cooking breakfast and showing you guys a little bit about the different types of equipment that I use out here as far as power and cooking and stuff goes. So today what I'll be cooking over is the BioLite camp stove. It's a pretty interesting little device that I'll kind of get into as I'm working with it because it does take a little bit to get going. But I'll be making oatmeal with peanut butter and bananas that my neighbor was kind enough to allow me to harvest from her banana plants. So I'm just putting a little bit of cardboard in here to get the flame started. And how this stove works is you create fuel for the fire, and the device here, the orange battery, runs a little fan in the bottom that you can adjust to adjust just how much heat is generated by the stove. And then there's a metal rod that absorbs the heat and charges the battery that this runs off of. And if I cook over it long enough, the battery charge is high enough that I can charge my phone or another device off of it. So first I have to, create fuel for the BioStove. All of the wood that I'm using right now is Brazilian pepperberry tree. It's all that invasive stuff that if you follow the Facebook page or Instagram, you may have seen that I had to pull a bunch of that out. It's actually really good bee forage. It's supposed to make really good honey, but unfortunately, it spreads like crazy. It pushes out other native plant species. There's a little bit of a medicinal use to it, but it's not food. You can't eat it. And its bark produces a resin which actually prevents other things from growing. So you can't really even use it in compost or anything like that. So while it was a lot of biomass, it kind of had to go. And that was a decision I struggled with, but in the end I'm going to put in native trees, and part of that area is going to turn into more of a formal driveway for when I have visitors and campers and that kind of thing out here. So, necessary evil, I suppose. But now I have lots of firewood and stuff to cook over. So, I suppose while I'm talking about this, I should make a note of it that it's also in the same family as poison ivy. So, if you're sensitive to poison ivy, maybe stay away from it. It's not so bad to the touch, but if you are sensitive to it and you're burning it, the smoke can cause problems, irritation on the eyes and skin even. So Brazilian red pepper tree, be aware of it, know its uses, but also know that it can be a little bit of a irritant. So I just push this button here, fan's going, flames have sort of started. I don't normally get this going on the first try, so maybe all I needed was an audience. Shouldn't have said anything. Jinxed. Also, feel free to leave comments and stuff on stuff that's wrong with the video. I noticed on the last one that every time I switched from the front and back camera that it skipped and erased a lot of what I was saying. I'm trying to provide a nice candid view of everything that is going on out here. So I probably won't always rewatch these videos, and I certainly don't have the equipment to like actually edit them and stuff. So just throw stuff like that in the comments. For example, if you're like, hey, this one's too long, we don't want to watch you try to light your stove for 20 minutes. That's good feedback. Let me know. This is also the windiest it's been with me trying to light it, so I don't know if that's helping or hurting or what. Make sure I don't set the beard on fire while I'm at it. There we go. All right. Obviously, I'm not one of the people that is bothered by the irritating smoke and oils on this, considering I'm able to blow into it and not have any problems. Oh, I did get a bunch of ash in my water for cooking this morning. It's pretty late in the morning already. I've already gotten up and watered the garden, which is looking awesome. Got up and did my morning yoga practice, which I've been slacking on. So, breakfast usually happens a little late for me. It's like 10 o'clock now, I think. Wait for the smoke to be done before I really get into the cooking. Wow. I'm supposed to turn the battery away from the flame as it's coming out. All right. There we go. We're boiling water. So as I said, I'm still kind of finessing how to use this. Were I cooking a longer meal, I would probably let the wood really cook and burn for a while before I tried to rush into it. Or not. I guess the way I just do it now, I just have to continuously feed the stove. This pitcher came with it, and it's got these little holes in the bottom, which is great because I can just toss the little sticks for fuel in there. I was going to cook it in my traditional metal pot, but it would have been way harder to feed the wood into it. I'm just going to put that on top to conserve some heat. Yes, I have burned myself a little bit using this. That would probably be another thing that, if you wanted to avoid that, you would just get enough burning material into the stove before you started the cooking part. To be honest, I don't really know why that works. You'd think the air is already coming up from the bottom. I don't know why blowing back down tends to spark the flame and get it going, but I found that it works for me. I'm also going to have some tea while I'm doing this, so at least I plan on it. Hopefully I don't forget to remove some water before I dump all the oats. But this is a blend I got from a local herb shop up in Jacksonville, Florida. And unfortunately I lost the list of all the herbs that are in it. I know that there's chamomile, but I basically went and found a list of all of the herbs that have anti-inflammatory properties and threw them all in a tea blend. Yeah, so it's been doing pretty good for me. And then I have this little tea cage thing, so I put the loose leaf tea in there, drop it in my teacup, and it's good to go. Couple other interesting facts, and I didn't have the heart to tell my neighbor this, but when she offered me the bananas to harvest, she called them ice cream bananas. Ice cream bananas are really popular. These are not them, sorry. But ice cream bananas have more of a bluish tint. They go by the name Blue Java. These are, I think, Namwa bananas, which are often confused, but the big difference is that ice cream bananas are larger, and they are attached to their stalk individually. You can see here that this is part of the stalk that I cut off, and the whole hand of bananas is attached to it, whereas the ice cream bananas will be like one of each will be attached to the actual stalk. So these are still delicious. Amazing. Obviously they're a little smaller than the traditional bananas that you find at the grocery store. But really nice flavor. They've got almost like a creamier taste and texture to them. So, highly recommend growing your own bananas. It's awesome. The plants grow fast, they're beautiful, and they're super easy. Just water them and pee on them because they like the nitrogen in urine. So, grow bananas. They're great. Oh, I guess you can also see I'm halfway through constructing my kitchen. I have pallets set up, and I just have my cutting board resting on the pallets. So no countertop yet, but it's coming, and I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, I guess right here you can see there's a chain link fence back there. That's new. Big reveal on who that is for coming up soon. But I'm very excited for the new permanent residents of New Nassau. But I needed a fenced-in area for her, so more on that later. Couple other pieces of equipment here. You can see my Berkey water filter. It's a 6-gallon water purifier that has just been awesome out here. I try to drink the rainwater, but if it hasn't rained, which is often, and I don't have rainwater, I just pump it out of the well, pour it right in there. The filters can just be cleaned with a scrub pad, and yeah, more or less unlimited clean water out here. So that's been really great. Garden's looking good. The Seminole pumpkin is really taking off. I should have a green, which is called Doc, that should be coming up here soon in the next couple days. Catnip and Bee Balm should be coming up as well. Those are both really good in tea. As well as bug repellents for ticks, mosquitoes, fleas, cockroaches, yeah, all that stuff. So the more of that I can have around, the better, just as a natural deterrent. Plus bees love it, and I'll need them out here to pollinate all of my food. So see how we're doing. Almost. That'll be boiling soon. Then I'll throw in my Irish oatmeal, non-GMO. Guess it's not technically organic, but steel cut oats. Comes in a metal can instead of all the plastic and stuff, and yeah, I like it. It takes a little longer to cook than your standard Quakers or whatever you buy at the grocery store, but good quality oatmeal that keeps me fueled all day. We'll let that go for a minute. I talk about my power source over here. So you can see right here we've got my solar panel set up. This is the Nomad 10 from Goal Zero, as well as the battery pack, the Venture 30, also from Goal Zero. Both work really great. I have a suspicion that during the summer, the solar panel actually gets too hot and is not as efficient. But that's just a hypothesis at this point. I'm not entirely sure. But otherwise, they're great. They both charge really well. They work really well together, obviously, since they are from the same company. Goal Zero is a sustainable company that sends their profits to pretty good places and tries to bring power to people who would otherwise be without it. So that's why I chose to support them in the purchase of my power bank and my solar panel. If I were buying it again, that is really good for if I was on a hike or a bike tour. But I use my phone out here more often than I thought I would. Whether or not I'm filming videos for you guys or looking up plants, or especially during the summer, it's just been really hot, and I'd still sit around and play on my phone even though I'm out in the woods and stuff, and it's nice. Gotta feed the thing again. So I'd probably go for either a solar panel with more charging capacity or a larger battery, or both, for what I'm doing. But 6 years ago now, I went on a bike tour and had a solar panel and a battery pack that were far inferior to this. So this will be perfect for any kind of hike or bike tour or anything like that. When I upgrade, though, I'll probably upgrade to like a big generator style battery pack and a very large solar panel. But that's far down the line. And if you're still watching, you must at least be fairly interested in what I'm doing, or at least supportive, so thank you very much. I guess a couple updates on everything that's been going on. Yesterday I planted tree number 98 and 99. At the beginning of this year, I set a goal to plant 100 trees on the property. And so 98 and 99 were yesterday. I'm very close. Number 100 will be something pretty special, and I'm excited about that. There were 2 avocado trees. And I suppose, in the interest of honesty and transparency, some of the trees that I planted didn't make it. And I've also planted a couple trees that I didn't put in the count because they were too small or I didn't think they'd make it, but they would do fine. I lost 4 trees to due to watering from the canal nearby. The special districts sprays the canal with glyphosate, which is an herbicide, and I was watering my plants with it, so they died. But now I have the well, I won't have to use canal water. And I currently attend those meetings and will probably run for their board of supervisors to get them to stop doing that, because we should know better by now. You shouldn't be using herbicides or pesticides. Probably a topic for a different video, but yeah. But yeah, 100 trees coming up, and then after that, I will be more focused on the garden, getting some calorie crops going, and I will likely wait at least 1 year, maybe 2 or even 3, before I do another big tree campaign. There's plenty of room for more fruit trees, but I do want to see what does well here and what fruits well. I need to find out if I'm getting the necessary chill hours for some of the varieties that I planted, like peaches and apples and pears. So we'll see what happens with those. If they fruit, then I know I'm good to go. If they don't, then probably cut those down, use them for wood for crafts or something like that, and plant something else that I know works. Still going. I'm going to put you guys on pause for a little bit and come back to you. All right. Thanks for watching so far, and I will see you when this is all set. All right, guys, I'm back. That didn't take long at all, and it was also, I don't necessarily need my water boiling for my tea, so I'm going to go ahead and pour some of that out. Less water, less time to boil. Set that aside. We'll see just how much longer this takes. I may put you guys on pause again, but I feel like BioLite is going to call me and be like, hey, don't make videos with our products in them anymore. I swear this is really a great stove. I'm making it look difficult. BioLite's going to call me and be like, look, you're doing it wrong and our sales are going down because of you. Stop. But it's really a good stove. It came with like a coffee pot attachment thing too, like a coffee press, and like a grill top that fans out, and then I can like open it up and just drop the wood in the top there. I'm actually really excited to like grill some vegetable kebabs or something out here. I think that'll be really neat. But in the meantime, I promise, I like this product a lot. I feel like I'm making it seem more difficult than it actually is. But it's a good stove. Boils water quick. It's more efficient and easier than like lighting a whole fire just to make a pot of oatmeal. So yeah. BioLite is the brand. I got it at a 4th of July sale and it was really awesome. And it's also one of those companies that a portion of their profits goes to help something. I wish I had looked up more about the companies I was talking about, but almost there. There we go. All right. Water's boiling. Go ahead and add about half a cup of oats. Turn the heat down a little bit. And stir. Now I am going to turn you guys off for a while because due to the nature of these being steel cut natural oats, they take about a half hour to cook. So I won't sit here and make you watch me stir my oatmeal for a half hour, but thanks for tuning in. I'll check back in at the end to show you the finished product of my breakfast. And yeah, we'll go from there. Maybe I'll think of something else to talk about. All right, see you soon. All right, guys, I'm back and I'm all wrapped up here. It was a lot of feeding the stove and stirring. I did add bananas, cinnamon, and peanut butter to the mix. And as usual out here, I've made way too much food for just myself, so I will probably be eating this all day. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, looking at some of the equipment that I use, watching me cook breakfast, and listening to the thing. If you enjoy it, like, subscribe, tell me what you want to see, and looking forward to exploring New Nassau with all of you again soon. Thanks. Have a good day. Namaste.